How's it going today, everyone? This is SHMA Addict, your host, bringing you a brand new MonsterArts review. This is the Godzilla 1954 70th Anniversary Special version, or 70th Anniversary Poster Color version, whichever title you want to use. Is this worth adding into your collection if you have the original 54? Or is it worth skipping on? Spoiler, it's really fucking worth it. Here it is compared to the SH MonsterArts Godzilla 1972 and the SH MonsterArts Godzilla -1. As you can see, it's a pretty small Godzilla, but I think that kind of works with 54 comparatively. Here it is next to a duo of Heisei Kaiju. We've got the Godzilla 1991 and the recently released Mogera 1994. Once again, looking awesome and short. Here it is next to the recently released Godzilla Evolved from SH MonsterArts, and of course, to the right of the screen, we have the SH Figuarts Earth Garon plus the mod pack accessory set added on. Looking awesome. Finally, we have the two black and white quote-unquote colored characters in the Frozen Shin Godzilla, because Ortho isn't quite out yet, and that's not necessarily black and white. And then, of course, on the right, we have the Godzilla -1 color figure. Paint and sculpt. The sculpt's the same as the original 54, so I'm not going to go too much into that, besides the fact that this sculpt is amazing. I love this 54 sculpt by SH MonsterArts. This thing is, I love it. I love the proportions. I love the detail. Oh God, those dorsal plates are just fantastic. But obviously, this is the poster color version, or I think this is pretty close to the suit color as well, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's pretty close. I might correct myself in an editor's note here on the video. But it's very, very nice. This is definitely one of the sharpest looking Godzillas we've gotten this year, or just MonsterArts in general. And I think this is what we needed for 54 to really make it pop. One of the best things about this figure is that the teeth are painted splendidly. The top ones are a little rough, but those bottom ones are perfect. The tongue's in there, very nice and red. Something that's happening with a few people is those two fangs there have a little bit of red wash. Mine just have like a little dab. It looks more like he's bleeding. More than like a paint scuff or something. So I think that's really well done. The eyes are nice and aligned. They're both looking down just like the suit. You can see it there, very nice. The nails, the toenails are painted very nice. The body itself has just got this even paint through. I can't tell if it's like if there's a plastic color and then there's this highlight through it, or if it's just this is just what the mold color is. I love the dorsal plates. Look at these. Look at oh my goodness. I love 54's dorsal plates, and I love the color that they're doing here. This is gorgeous. Gorgeous. Here, I'm gonna I might throw up a photo of the poster right next to it. Just to show you guys. Okay. But yeah, there are a few issues. There are some not similar colorways, like the feet and the hands are definitely different. This middle piece, you can kind of see it here, it's about the same, and then about towards the back it kind of gets a little bit darker, I think. Same thing with the tail. Some of the tail sleeves have different colors, but it's, for the most part, it's really well done. The tip of the tail has a little bit of paint, blemishes, a little bit of bleeding out, It's not as done nicely, but I really don't think that ruins the aesthetic of this figure at all. In fact, I think this is one of the best QC Godzillas we've gotten here in a while, which makes sense. This is, although it's a general release, as far as I understand, this is still a special release. So I'm glad that MonsterArts was able to get their poop in a group for this 54. Of course, this figure actually comes with plenty of accessories. So anyone who's been complaining about these figures not coming with accessories, you better be getting this, because this has plenty of them. The first one here is this atomic breath effect, or just kind of a flamethrower effect. It's very nice. It's translucent. It's kind of like a red and orange. It's just very nice looking. I love the way it looks. You can see mine is slightly a little bit bent, a little bit of heat, and that will literally strain that out. It came like that in the box. It honestly is not a big deal. And if you're going to sit here and trash the brand just because of that, I think that's a little wild. It's got a nice edge there. It is just a nice looking flame effect. You just put it in his mouth and boom, he's blowing the flames. He's atomic breathing the town. He's scorching it. I kind of hope that they do a regular 54 and we get a white one, but I kind of doubt it. Of course, we get a Tamashii stand with one arm, which is probably my biggest complaint, because now, if you use the breath effect part, you line it all up and stuff, you can't use the other accessories with the figure. You can only use the breath effect, so you have to have more Tamashii arms and Tamashii stages to be able to do it. Now, why would you need another stand? Well, it's because he comes with these two small planes. I can't remember what they are. Honestly, I forgot to look them up, so maybe editor me will post them here on the video real quick. But these are pretty nice for what they are. These are tiny, absolutely tiny. And it only comes with one of these little adapters. As you can see, he's got a little clear piece that plugs into the plane because the peg is small. You can't use the normal Tamashii end, so then you can add that to here, and boom. So now you can have the plane here. But like I said, if you don't have other Tamashii arms laying around, you can only use one or the other. And you get two of these planes, and you don't get two adapters, so technically you can only have one flying plane. This peg is very similar to the Shin Godzilla atomic breath pieces, but it's not quite the same. I don't think it works. So you're kind of just SOL'd there on the plane, which I know most people, like me, are going to have the second plane held like this in the plane holding hand. So you can see it's kind of gripping, it's kind of a fist, and it just holds the plane very nice. But the second hand is really cool. I'm not going to do it on video. These hands are a pain in the butt to swap on, swap off. The joints are very snug, but because the ball joints themselves into the forearms are loose, it's hard to keep it straight so you can get a secure and safe pop in and off. So be careful. I wouldn't say it's too much to worry, but obviously don't manhandle it. And then we do get the second hand, and this is more of a closed finger hand. As you can see here, here's the one that's on the package, or in the package. This is the extra one he comes with. It's really not too different, but it's an extra hand. So you know what? We're going to take it. It's kind of got a different angle, different size. It's more of a Showa Godzilla hand with how close the fingers are. So that's pretty cool. The last thing that we get, and I love this accessory, we get this beautiful 70th anniversary Godzilla plate. Now you can do this, you can use this many ways. You can use it with the figure to use this for the stands. It's got the plug-ins that you can push in and out, or you can just do what I do. Let's just set your Godzilla 54 on it, and boom. That's it. It's beautiful. I love it. This figure is awesome. All right, so for the box, this thing is gorgeous. The other sides are all the same as normal, but this, man, this is shelf worthy. You can bet your bottom dollar that this will be on the shelf with the figure, and it's just gorgeous. I love this box. This is beautiful. Now for the articulation, it is the exact same as the original, if not just like little minor improvements. So the head can look all the way up, basically. Technically, it can go a little bit more there. There you go. It can go all the way up, and then kind of got to watch the neck folds, and then it can go all the way down. Man, I wish Evolved could do that. The jaw opens and closes. Mine's really tight for some reason. My original 54, it was not, so I kind of got to like pry it open a little bit, but it's getting better, with time. It doesn't open quite as much as I remember it, but it's still not bad. The arms, kind of the same way. I wouldn't say they're tighter, but they catch on something in there, but they can go all the way up both sides. This one's just tight. And then they can go out, not all the way, but they can go out quite a bit. They've got really, really good elbow joints. You can't do any like Dragon Ball poses with the arm or the elbows bending in, but I don't think that's really a big deal. And then they kind of swivel a little bit there at the forearm. The wrists are on ball pegs or double ball joints, so those are pretty nice. They're a little loose, so you can kind of see, and that makes changing the hands kind of a pain in the butt. I'll show that in a little bit. This top joint here doesn't move. I think it's just stuck. I don't know if they like glued it or what, but it doesn't move, so it's just the bottom one. And you get a little bit of rock and get a little bit forward and a little bit back. I remember having it, or my original 54 having a little bit more than that, but it's not terrible. You got to remember this suit isn't the most articulated. This was a very heavy suit, a very big pain in the butt for the suit actor Nakajima. So it doesn't technically need to move too much, but I know kind of like me, I love the dynamic poses, even in the Godzilla suits that aren't supposed to be dynamically posed. So obviously having that kind of sucks, or not having it, I guess, is a better way to word it, sucks, but it's still solid. This middle piece will pop off if you push it a little too far. It just pops right in. It's not a big deal. It's definitely not loose. The legs go up, very nice forward. They go back. Technically, they spin all the way around if you wanted them to. This one's a little loose. It kind of has a thigh swivel as well. Got double jointed knees, which are pretty good. They go 90 degrees, so they don't strain out all the way. It's got a little bit of chicken leg there, but that's fine. The ankles bend all the way down. They basically have no forward though. That is a little disappointing. That one's got a little bit, but this one really doesn't want to move. They got pretty good ankle rockers, and then they twist and swivel as well. You just got to move the joints and the sleeves around to make room for it. And then the tail, I remember when this tail came out, this was the best tail that we had at the time, and it's still really good. It's not quite as good as the newer ones, like 72, but it is close. It is close. It is nice. It poses in the non-54 way. You know, most of the time the tail is just dragging along. They didn't have a lot of bendy wires on it, but you can do the typical Godzilla tail poses for the most part. This piece right here from this joint on is all one solid piece. That is a little disappointing. I don't remember it being like that, but that is the way it was. So it kind of loses a little bit of posability at the tip. So that's maybe like the one little thing that I have an issue with. But otherwise, this thing is just really fine and nice. The big question, is this worth it? Absolutely. Look at how beautiful this is, all posed up on the bases with the extra arm, mind you, but the breath effect added in. This thing is wonderful. I am genuinely surprised and shocked that I'm so impressed with this figure again. When I bought the original 54, I was blown away. I was like, whoa, this thing is crazy cool. And now it is once again doing what it did almost 10 years ago. Almost. I believe it was a 2016 release, 2015. I believe it was 2016. And now it's, you know, the end of 2024, and this figure's blowing me away again. I love this figure. I love this version so much. I'm still don't know if I'm going to get a regular 54, because now I kind of feel like I'm completed. If I had the normal 54, the black and white color, I feel like I would have to get this because the accessories are just top notch. The planes are cool, the breath effect is cool, the base is cool, and we get extra hands even if they're not really that different. You know, we're getting the accessories that we're asking for. But I already know that a lot of people are going to skip out on it because they're just like, well, it's a recolor. Well, yeah, it's a recolor, but it's something different. It's a colored 54. We don't have a lot of these figures in general, you know, outside of Safubi. Like, we don't have a lot of poster color or, you know, closer to suit colored 54s. And I just think this is worth it. I'm telling you all, it's worth it. It's literally, I think it's only like $70, $60 on AmiAmi if it's still in stock. And then DHL shipping was only $30 for me. So I'm getting it shipped from Japan, which takes 2 or 3 days, mind you, once it ships. Once it ships, it's 2 to 3 days. It gets here faster than if it were to ship from somewhere in the US. And it's the same or less than US retail. So if you guys want this, go to Hobby Link Japan or AmiAmi, see if it's in stock, or you can use Bai if you're an average Bai user. I'm seeing them for like $60 flat on there. No one's bidding on these because it's a general release. Go there, get it for $60. They'll charge you like $35 to ship it. Then you're really getting it cheaper than US. And it's super cool. This is an absolute worth it purchase. This is, whether you're an avid MonsterArts collector or you're a nervous MonsterArts collector, a new MonsterArts collector, a new Godzilla collector, this is a great starting piece if you want something more high quality than a Bandai vinyl, but not quite as expensive as an X Plus or a Safubi or some of the other hard to get expensive MonsterArts. This is a great starting piece. If you have a young teen, if you're a parent, this is a great starting piece. You know, start to learn the basics. This is a great piece. Not every MonsterArts release is like this. I think there's something very special about this release. I do recommend picking it up 100%. This might be my favorite MonsterArts of the year. It might be. I love it that much. I might like it more than the -1. I might. I love this thing. I love it. We're going to wait for Ortho Shin to get here, and we're going to wait for the Heat Ray -1 to get here before I give specifics, but this could be my favorite MonsterArts this year. I love this MonsterArts. I love this 54. I did 8 years ago, 9 years ago, and I love it now. In fact, I think I love it even more now. So thank you all for watching. That's it from me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Be on the lookout for the next review, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.